the Kingkong 5x4x3. This is the Banggood variant. I'm pretty sure Kingkong is a Banggood brand. It's a Banggood variant of the HQ 5x4x3. And I tried this prop. I ordered some of these props because somebody told me that they are actually lighter than the HQ props, and that's surprisingly true. Not true, but it's almost true. These props are 3.4 grams. That's pretty freaking impressive for something that's plastic, polycarbonate. I don't know what the material is, but it's some sort of flexible plastic. And I think I know why they're so light. They're not using the same plastic as Dahl, and right now I'm going to show you the most important factor of this prop is actually the flex profile in this case, because the prop is so damn flexible. If you compare it to the Dahl variant, is much stiffer. The Dahl is much stiffer. So right off the bat, I'm gonna sit like the Dahl. I'm gonna try to put the Dahl underneath so that you can see the difference. Well, I can't really show the difference, but basically the Dahl is much stiffer, and I'm probably gonna bet that while the Kingkong version is not much. It's gonna draw less amps because it's just gonna flatten out at high speed. It also is not going to make as much power, and it's not going to be as controllable because it doesn't have the ability to generate the thrust quickly on RPM changes. Also, the plastic feels thinner, and so I'm pretty sure it's not going to be very durable. I bet that this blade, it's very thin. I bet that this blade won't be any more durable than the original HQ 5x4x3, and I say that because the prop definitely doesn't have great balance, because I can already see that right here in the blade there is a variation in the plastic. So if you can't really see it so great on video, but like right here there's a wave, whereas over here on the blade there is no wave. There's no wave on the blade over here. So already I know that the balance on this prop is not going to be stellar, and if you bend the blade in any way, it's just going to get worse. So bending it back is probably going to actually, I'm pretty sure it's going to generate white lines if I bend it back and forth. I'll actually do it on the flight after, because I'll probably crash into a tree on purpose just to see how durable they are. I'm not really enthusiastic about this prop. I was hoping for better things. And something else to note, which is interesting, is that the prop hub, so the Dahl weight is about 3.9 grams, 4 grams. So this KK blade is half a gram lighter. Half a gram is a pretty significant amount. I'm kind of impressed by that, but I'm pretty sure I know where most of that weight savings comes from. The blades are definitely thinner, so that's going to be half the weight savings, and the other half is going to be from the hub. If you look at the prop hub, the Kingkong blade is way thinner. It looks like it's probably 3 millimeters thinner, and I think I know why that is too. So these are all just copies of the HQ blade, and what Dahl did when they originally copied it, I don't know how they screwed up the mold, but the first version of this prop that they made was actually not a 4 pitch. It was more like a 3 or maybe a 2 pitch, and it didn't generate any thrust. At least the quad blade version didn't generate any thrust at all. It was really bad. And Gemfan also made a copy of this blade, and they altered it as well. They are the ones that made the hub smaller and actually shorter. And I had motors back in the day that it was too short for the motors because it didn't have any more thread for me to screw the bolt down. And actually, I'm going to show you on my quad. So you can see this motor actually doesn't have room for the prop, the nut to go all the way down on any other prop, except this one. I got the prop shaft sticking up through the nut. Anyways, I bet that Kingkong just copied the Gemfan blade. Straight up just copied it. I think that the low weight of this general prop design is what makes it so controllable and good in the air, and the reason why the HQ glass fiber version, or now the polycarbonate version, is so good, is so much better than all the other variants, is because it's stiffer. It's actually stiffer. So even though the Dahl variant is the next stiff, well, Gemfan's is stiffer too, but it's even less durable than the original glass fiber, so that's just no good. The prop is really flexible, and I did actually crash and I bent 2 props, and I bent this one too. I'm going to bend it back and forth for you. I'll bend all of them back and forth so that you see how flexible and durable it is. It's not that flexible. I mean, it's not that durable. And you can see here that it actually finds stress lines pretty quickly and easily. And it's not so much that bending the blades back is a bad thing. It's that when you bend them, you also twist them, that they get twisted a little bit, and that's what throws off the balance. So with these particular props, they already don't have the best balance. And when you bend them and throw off the twist just a little bit, it just gets even worse. So in that regard, they're not really the most durable props. I actually wouldn't say that they're much more durable than the HQ variant. One thing that I've been wanting to say for a while that I keep forgetting to note is that the plastic that's used in these props, you'll notice that a lot of different companies are moving towards more clear plastics, and that's particularly for a reason. That's because the clear plastic has less color pigmentation in it, and when they put the color pigment in there, they actually contaminate the plastic. They contaminate the blade. It becomes less flexible. It also becomes a little bit lighter, but not less flexible. It becomes more flexible with the contamination. It becomes lighter, but what's the point when you have higher flexibility and the blade is twisting all over the place, and the motor can't actually control the thrust output of the blade? So you notice that I was trying to kind of fly fast at the beginning, and it just doesn't go quick. This general design is just not a fast design. It does make noise and waft some air when you give it some speed in any variation of this design, but it's not the fastest blade, so it's really not intended to go fast, and it's not that efficient when you're going fast. This prop pulled 123 amps max on my setup, and for those 123 amps, I really wasn't moving anywhere, so it's not really efficient at high speed. This is a very low speed prop, and it's really good for low speed acrobatics because just the design, not this particular prop. It's good for low speed acrobatics because it's so controllable, and it's such a low speed prop that it generates thrust so quickly and easily. In general, I would say that this is probably the worst variation of the 5x4x3 by HQ. It is the least stiff version. It's the most flexible version, and that's probably what is killing it. It is definitely a copy of the GemFan version. The GemFan version of the prop is as stiff as the HQ blade, but it is actually less durable. So I cannot recommend the GemFan version either. The original OG glass fiber HQ 5x4x3 is still the best flying version of this prop that I've used. The doll version is the stiffest remake of it, aside from the GemFan, which is not even a consideration, but the HQ still flies a little bit better. It does have a little bit more stiffness to it. So, I mean, if you want the utmost performance in control feel, that's the prop you want to fly. That's the prop Steel flies, and I like, really hurts me to say it, but that like 2-3-year-old prop is still kind of king of the control, acrobatics, freestyle, whatever blade. I really hope that somebody eventually comes out with a prop to replace the 5x4x3 because it's really a dated design. And yeah, that's all. Please floss.